Hi guys, I'm Günther. Welcome to the channel IP and Business. I'm very excited today because I thought what could be very interesting for you is a sequence of videos, short videos of 15 minutes or so on different topics which have to do with IP and business and Europe. So I imagine you are a student in Nigeria, a business student who want to go into business in the future. Business not only limited probably to Nigeria, but for the global business, the globalization is not yet over, although many says it is not. And you need to have some ideas on what's happening in Europe. So you are on the right place, or you are an IP law student somewhere in, let's say, Japan, and you want to apply for a law firm, IP law firm in Japan or elsewhere. What do you think? Is it possible that you get an advantage over other students if you have some ideas of what's happening in IP in Europe? I guess so. Or you are a small business owner in Argentina and want to do business with Europe. Would you think that IP is an issue you should consider in your business considerations? Would you think so? Yes, you should, and you will know why. So I have prepared some 11 videos of some 15 minutes with concrete thematic each, which will give you in total a comprehensive overview of what should small businesses or IP lawyers in countries which are non-EU member states should consider. So if you are from elsewhere in the world, not from EU countries, European Union countries, then you should be interested. If you are a business owner somewhere elsewhere out of Europe, you should be interested. If you are a business student somewhere in EU countries, you should be interested. So everybody outside of the EU probably is interested in this. And there does not exist much content for those in that areas for the European Union legal system. So it is not going into much detail. It gives you a broad view on what is happening in Europe in small bits, I would say. So you are the target audience. I'm excited to make the journey with you for the next, 15 minutes or so. I will not surpass that. Now, why is IP important? IP, you think it is something technical which has to do with government agencies, which is very expensive and complicated and bureaucratically organized, etc. This is not the case. Business and IP law is about helping business to get better, right? So business is possible for two reasons. Only two. There's only two reasons. One is we have a unit of account, what we have, the fiat currency we have. The other is IP. Yes, the other is IP. You are right. The other is IP because IP has been around since business is around. Let me go back to ancient Egypt or ancient Mayan culture or ancient China, whatever. And you have a tailor shop, admitting you have a tailor shop. So that tailor shop is doing its business with what probably the high society of that time, right? And there is another tailor shop just around the corner. Now, one is called, I don't know, let's take China example. One is Mr. Zhang and the other is Mr. Wang. Now, Mr. Zhang and Mr. Wang, they have a business and they have a small business, and on top of it, there is just Mr. Zhang or Mr. Wang or whatever. And this is already IP. Guess what? This is IP. Because what? It is a business identifier. It is a name, yes, but at the same time, it is a business identifier. Because what will happen in the circles, you are talking about suits, nice suits, and there is somebody, can you recommend me somebody who's doing nice suits? And somebody says, yes, this is Mr. Wang. Or if it is business which has some fancy name, which is not the name of the person, but it was probably the name of the person, then it will be used that fancy name. So it is a business identifier. Imagine you are without business identifiers. So you have to tell somebody who asks you again, what is about a good tailor shop? And you would say, well, there is one in a building which has 20 windows and an entrance with a wooden door, and inside it is organized in this or in that way, and the guy inside is middle-aged and bold and, I don't know, has limping a bit. So you need to give all this information to that person in order to identify a certain business. And on the other hand, probably that person forgets half of it, gets it wrong, and will not come to that destination. Even if an address is being given, the number is probably not the correct one, and it get confused. And on the contrary, there's another tailor and they will get into the wrong tailor. So it is not a business identifier if you don't have a concrete name, a concrete, well, it is a brand, right? It is a brand. So you need two things. One is a unit of account, so money to exchange rather than a barter society. And you need IP, although in that time it is not called IP, right? IP is called IP since, 1850 or so, when it all started as a certain law, and it is identified as something which has to be there in order to business to be scalable, to go up. Now, this is what IP is about, and IP has complex structure, and that course here is to make it simple for those who are not professionals of European IP. So imagine you are a small business owner, so you need to know about IP in Europe if you want to sell into Europe, which is one of the strongest markets with some 600 million consumers. Now imagine you are a law student in IP in Japan, and you, with this knowledge you will get on the IP European system, you will get into that law firm you aimed for, and now you have to talk to European lawyers. So if you don't know about the European system, then you are a bit lost. You rely on what they tell you without any verification from your side, and you will just transmit what you hear from that lawyer to your client. And any questions your client might have, guess what? Well, you have to go back to the European lawyer in order to give some explanation satisfying your client, but your client will know, well, you lack some knowledge about the European system, right? So for IP students, that is also a good thing to know about. Now, let's see what will be in these videos, which I'm manufacturing now over time. What will be the content so that you can maybe go through the whole course, or if you want, you can skip one and the other where you're not interested in, and you will focus just on certain subject matter, which you know. This is the advantage of the course, to make it very short in bits and bytes of 15 minutes. Now, what is the European Union, for example? Well, those in South Africa, they may not know exactly what the European Union is. It is an association, it is a group of countries, it is something which they come together from time to time. Is that what is the capital? Why do they talk about the capital of Europe, which is Brussels? Sometimes Luxembourg, sometimes Strasbourg. What is the Commission, the European Commission, the commissioners, etc.? Well, these are questions which come around and which you need as a background information, and you will get this here. And then what is about the enforcement, what encompasses IP rights, what are considerations, strategic business considerations you may want to look at. These are issues which are relevant for you in order to get your business straight. What is it only a cost issue? May you get revenues? What is a license, patents, etc.? So you will get all this. The next video, I have it already clear, will be about the European Union and IP system within the European Union as a general overlook. So if you're interested, keep tuned in. I'm excited, I must say, to talk to you. Technology is amazing to talk to you in wherever you are, in Canada, in Zimbabwe, in Kazakhstan, in India, I don't know. It makes me happy that technology is possible and that I can bring you some knowledge, that I can serve you with some content from Europe. So thank you for tuning in. Keep tuned, and till the next time.